G'day. You know, I love four-wheel driving. I reckon it's one of the best ways to see the Australian bush. At Ergon Energy, we have to do a lot of that as well. We use four-wheel drives to access our network along access tracks and various off-road situations. If you do enough of it, eventually you're going to get bogged. Now, what we're going to look at here is vehicle recovery using a snatch strap. It's not going to be a step-by-step guide. You'll do that in training. What you will see in this video is some of the latest information about snatch straps, vehicle recovery points, and some of the things to watch out for. Let's get into it. A snatch strap is basically a giant elastic band. The momentum from the towing vehicle is transferred as energy through the snatch strap, and that in turn yanks the bogged vehicle out. Now, when they're used correctly, these straps can get you out of a real bind. If they're not used the right way, the consequences can be disastrous, even fatal. Now, for those reasons, Ergon Energy requires there to be at least one trained and competent person in this method before you attempt this sort of recovery. Now, if you haven't done this sort of training before, or if you were trained in recoveries at the time when these straps were banned in Ergon Energy, it might be an idea to do it again. Who knows, could even save you buying a carton for someone who has to come and get you. Snatch straps are generally 9 metres long and attached to the vehicles using bow shackles. Don't confuse a tow strap with a snatch strap. They can look similar, but they've got very different properties, so be careful. Read the identification tag attached to the strap to make sure you have the right one. Before using a strap, always check it for damage. Look for things like kinks or twists, and keep an eye out for damage to the stitching. If you need to, you can extend the length by connecting two straps together. Do this by pulling one strap through the other and from that you'll form a figure 8 configuration. Put something between the loops to prevent it from becoming taut. Use whatever you can find. A bunch of grass or reeds will do, or even a rolled up newspaper. If you don't, you won't be able to undo the loop afterwards. Never use a bow shackle to join two straps together. If anything lets go, that shackle can become a lethal projectile. Snatch straps and bow shackles are available as inventory items in the stores. Snatch straps used by Ergon Energy are rated at 8,000 kilograms MBS, or minimum braking strain. The bow shackles used to attach the straps to the vehicle are rated at 4.75 tonne working load limit. Both items can be ordered using the inventory numbers shown on your screen. So it's happened. The vehicle's stuck. You're not going anywhere. Now, this is the time to look at all of your options. Some seasoned bushies will tell you that right about now you should stop, oil the billy, and have a look at all the things that are going on around your vehicle. And that's good advice. A snatch strap might not be the best option for getting this car out. You might need to do more digging. You might need to use some other recovery method. Take your time, don't make the situation worse. Your vehicle can weigh anywhere from 2 to 3.5 metric tonnes. If it's bogged down in soft sand, the drag could increase this figure by a factor of 2 or even 3 times. When completing the risk assessment, refer to the field instruction on recovery of a vehicle to decide on the best method. So if you've had a couple of attempts at snatching the vehicle and it's not working, it's time to stop. Reassess your situation. It may even be time to bring in some assistance. We had 2 incidents in the past involving snatch straps where injuries were only narrowly avoided. In both cases, the vehicles were damaged. Now, because of this, snatch straps were banned within Ergon Energy until issues around recovery points were sorted out. Since then, fleet management has been working with vehicle accessory manufacturers towards developing proper rated recovery points on our vehicles. Here's Matt to tell us some more.
Thanks, Mark. When it was identified that the business needed rated recovery points, fleet management went directly to the major aftermarket manufacturers to see what they had available. At that point of time, they didn't have anything available on the market, so we then commenced negotiations to develop, in cooperation with them, rated recovery point system. Initially we started with the Nissan LST, being predominantly our major work vehicle, and then moved on to old model Ranger. This process took some time as the manufacturers were also learning about the risk and what it required to certify and rate the rated recovery points. This included testing rated recovery points on chassis to destruction. At this point of time, the Patrol and new Ranger will come delivered with rated recovery points, the Patrol being front and rear and the new Ranger being front only at the moment. We're continuing to work on the other vehicles in the fleet, and the main one being Pajero, which doesn't have a rated recovery point at this stage. If you have any questions about rated recovery points, please contact Fleet Management.
Well, thanks, Matt. I know it's been a long process, but it's something we had to get right. And on the subject of recovery points, here's some tips on how to use them properly. First up, check that there is a recovery plate label attached to the vehicle you're using. Now, if you can't find one, it means the recovery point is not rated, so it must not be used. Check your recovery points for anything like loose or missing bolts or any sign of rust. If you find anything like that, don't use those points for your snatch recovery. And remember, never ever use a tow ball as a recovery point. They're not designed for it, they've been known to break, and people have died doing it. To get trained in vehicle recovery, have your supervisor nominate you through ELIPS using the course codes shown on the screen. Once you're nominated, Training and Development will organise a session for you with an approved service provider, usually in your local area where that's possible. We only covered one method of vehicle recovery in this presentation. For information on all the different methods you can use, refer to the reference documents shown in the process zone. For further information on vehicle recovery, contact Camillo Pasquale. Well, I hope you got something out of that. You know, over the years I've had a little bit of bad advice from people who meant well but didn't really know the proper way to do vehicle recoveries. It wasn't until I did some four-wheel drive training that I realised that vehicle recovery can be a dirty job, but it doesn't have to be a dangerous one. If you're four-wheel driving for work, do yourself a favour and do the training. You'll be glad you did.